Did your narcissist hate your birthday? Did it seem like your birthday was walking on eggshells? Or maybe it seemed like all they ever cared about was their own birthday and you were still walking on eggshells when it was their birthday? If you guys are new here, my name is Ben Taylor. I'm a self-aware narcissist on this channel to provide awareness, growth, healing, and change. I'm the founder of Raw Motivations, the creator of the Narc app, and your guide in the 45-day Clarity Challenge to help you break free from toxicity. You can join us at claritychallenge.net. If you like what you see here about narcissism and narcissistic abuse and me trying to break down things that I've learned and also things in my own life, then please subscribe, hit the notifications so you can get notified when we have more videos. We have 2 videos that come up every single day to help you learn and understand more about narcissistic abuse. Well, in your life, did the narcissist in your life make your birthday awful? Was it something that they made their birthday a huge deal? Were birthdays, holidays, different things like this, were they just really, really tense? Really, really, really frustrating? Well, I want to walk you through a little bit of how they view their birthday and then also a lot of times why they hate yours. You see, narcissists a lot of times will care about their birthday. A lot of times it is something that is built into life of like, hey, when I have a birthday, I'm going to get extra admiration. I'm going to get extra validation. A lot of times I've termed a birthday for a narcissist as being a great day because the birthday for the narcissist is Narc Day. It's a day that's all about me. It's all about who I am, what I've done, what I've accomplished, like me turning another age. It's all people giving me validation. So a lot of times that birthday aspect is like, oh, I love my birthday because that's my time to make everybody, look at me and make me feel good about myself. Okay, so a lot of times you'll see narcissists that care a lot about their birthdays. However, sometimes it gets really confusing of like, wait a second, do they actually care about their birthdays or are they asking like for us not to make a big deal? Because you'll have narcissists that will play down their birthdays. Like, it's not that big a deal. Like, oh, you don't have to get me anything. Like all this sort of stuff, kind of like feigning like humility. Like, oh, like it's not that big a deal. I don't really want anything. Like, don't make a big deal. And then when you don't make it a big deal, that's when the problem happens. Because all of a sudden you've got to the place where you didn't acknowledge and you didn't pump them up in the aspect of like, hey, it's wonderful. It's Narc Day. You didn't pump them up. And so then all hell breaks loose because you didn't actually put them higher up on that pedestal because it was their birthday. Oftentimes, like I would look at relationships, I would look at birthdays, I would look at interactions, I would look at different things and be like, no, like it's not that big a deal, like don't worry about it. But then when people didn't acknowledge me in it, that's when it got the most frustrating. So a lot of times I wanted a big birthday or I wanted that validation from a birthday, but I didn't want to have to ask for it. I wanted it to happen. And if it didn't happen, then in my mind, I'm like, all right, well then obviously they don't care about me. Obviously they don't mean enough. Obviously, and a litany of different thoughts comes out, okay? When a birthday happens, like, so when a narcissist has a birthday, don't be surprised when their attitudes, their actions, sometimes the abuse, when different things like that get worse. A lot of times people think like it'd be better because like it'd be a good day, it'd be a happy thing. Well, oftentimes it's not, because even though they're getting aspects of validation from you or from a birthday party or whatever it might be, it doesn't always mean that it's enough. A lot of times people are talking about narcissists and the void that's inside and how a lot of times that's still trying to be filled and they're still trying to look to be able to satisfy and to be able to get pleasure and enjoyment and happiness and joy in their lives. And with something like that, it still isn't going to be enough because of what they're looking for and how they're interpreting it. A lot of times a narcissist will get worse on their own birthday. They'll try to get the validation. They'll try to get the attention. It won't be enough, so they'll act out. A lot of times you'll see on a narcissist birthday, you'll become really tense and will have a lot of anxiety. You're like, what do I do? Like, do I actually make this a big birthday and a celebration, or do I make it small? Do I ignore it, or do I make it a big deal? Do I, compliment, or do I kind of like just, oh, here you go? Like what do I actually do for it? And a lot of times that tenseness is around there because you don't know their expectations and you don't know what they actually want because they're not putting it out there. It's something that like, oh, well, don't give me much, but then you don't, and then you're like, how could you not give me anything? Different things like that they'll turn it around. And this is the part that you have to understand and realize with narcissists is you're ascribing to it of it's going to happen. It's going to be something that if you're with a narcissist on their birthday, you're going to get used to like the bunch of gaslighting, a bunch of back and forth, a bunch of like, well, don't do this, but do this. Why didn't you do this? I thought you like cared about me. Why didn't you get me a big gift? Why did you get me a small gift? Like it's never going to be enough. And a lot of times that tenseness and anxiety piece around birthdays can help alert you of like, wait a second, like something's not going right here. Like a regular person, might be upset or happy about different things, but it's not going to be the end of the world. It's not going to be this giant thing that is a blow up every single year, whether I make it the best thing ever or whether I make it very small and very like minimalistic to try to help them feel better about themselves or whatever they're trying to express to you. Well, a lot of times in that same realm of feeling tense about the narcissist's birthday is also how you'll start to feel around your own birthday. Because a lot of times narcissists will hate your birthday, will hate that attention that you're getting for that particular day. This is where a lot of times narcissists will ignore the fact that you have a birthday. They will forget that you even had a birthday, or sometimes even say happy birthday on a day that's not your birthday, to start to build a lot of that frustration in your mind of like they don't even care. And then when you build up that courage to be able to tell them or express that of like, I can't believe you didn't even acknowledge my birthday on my birthday, then they start to rage back at you of like, but I did acknowledge it. Yeah, maybe it was the wrong day, but at least I remembered your birthday. And they start to guilt trip you with actions that they have done. A lot of times narcissists will hate your birthday because at the end of the day, it's not about them. This is why in relationships with narcissists, you have other issues that pop up when you add a dog to the relationship or a child to the relationship or something that's going to pull away time and attention from them. And so a lot of times when your birthday is going off, they're like, I don't like this because it's not about me. It's not about my day. It's not about what I want or what I think I should have in that relationship. Sometimes in the relationship, when the narcissist forgets your birthday or wishes you on the wrong day, the goal is they want to try to make a big deal out of it so they can twist it around so that it's more focused on them than it is of you. It's amazing how you can have a birthday and it be your day and it still ends up being all the drama back on them. So even though it's not a narc day because it's not their birthday, they'll still make it look like all the attention and all the focus is back on them. You see, you have to remember it's not always this good, happy, fluffy, positive supply that narcissists get. It's also just the negative time and attention that they get from other people that show them in their mind that this person values them or this person puts them up to be better than what they actually are. Oftentimes it's still that control piece. Typically, sometimes you'll also have narcissists that hate their own birthdays. Sometimes this might be a malignant narcissist or like a vulnerable that's like trying to be able to hide from it or trying to be able to reject like the attention. Like they don't actually want the attention. They don't actually want the focus of like what's actually going on. Maybe it's because they don't want to be reminded. They don't be reminded of things that they've done in the past or, of getting older and having like that thought process that they're looking at ideal like love or beauty or whatever it might be. A lot of times you'll have like specifically, sorry, my nose is going today, specifically like malignant narcissists that oftentimes will be like, no, I don't want to do this. And they'll reject that attention. Last but not least, I wanted to touch on birthdays and also like gifts inside of birthdays. What you'll see a lot of times with a narcissist is that your gifts will typically never be enough. You could buy the biggest gift and they'll play it down like it's the smallest thing. You could buy the smallest gift and they'll be like, why didn't you actually get me a gift? Like, do you not care about me? Like, there's a lot of different pieces that are used in a manipulative way to either train you to continue providing more gifts. You see a lot of times people that do this that are in the financial aspect of like, I want to get money out of you, so I'm going to keep playing down your gifts or acting like they don't matter as much. So you think you're not good enough. So you have to keep trying to do it to get my attention and affection. A lot of times you'll see that. The idea with the gifts, with the narcissist, is it'll never be enough. Like, it'll be too little, too much. You'll never get it just right. It'll always be something that you'll try to get better. You'll try to figure out and be like, oh, well, gave this feedback last year. Let me do it this way. You do it this way. Well, nope, still not good enough. Okay. So when it comes down to it, like, don't let someone ruin your birthday or put you on eggshells for your birthday or for the toxic person's birthday. A lot of times we'll see this happen time and time again. If you're seeing this happen, let this be like a red flag to you of like, wait a second, something might be going on here that is not healthy, that is very toxic, and there might be deeper levels of what's happening than just someone having a bad attitude on their birthday. If you'd like to get more help or more information as we dive into like healing after toxicity and after narcissistic abuse, I would like to invite you into the 45-day clarity challenge that we have going every single month. You can go to claritychallenge.net to be able to learn more, but the goal is to get clear on who you are after toxicity. And a lot of times when people get away from a narcissist, they don't know who they are, they don't know the direction they're going, and oftentimes they don't know how to build boundaries to keep themselves from going back to a toxic person or to get with someone else that's toxic in the future.